Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, everybody. The new heat has landed. Oh, the new heat is so here, bro. The new heat is so locked in. Y'all are not ready for how ungodly efficient this is. You thought Area 20 fly spam was good? You thought Centrico Plaza fly spam with 4 was good? Nah, bro. This is Heat Street. This is the peak of isolating Alpha Charmander. If you want an Alpha Charmander, bruh, or an Alpha Tepig, you ain't beating this. I challenge any motherfucker out there to beat this. This is cracked. Hold on, I gotta change the some text. We're getting rid of I guess. And we're just putting full odds. And we're committing. We're so committed. We don't have any other goal. We don't have any other goal, man. Oh, baby. Dude. We got 92 viewers, 6 likes. We get that to 50 likes, I start. 50 likes on YouTube, we start the hunt and I show off the shit. I need to see some likes, man. I want the algo to pump me. I need people to know the heat. Click like. I will tease you with a good time. What's up, Eric, Pokemon World? 44? We're so close. 44? I'm looking. I'm watching. 52? Let's go, baby. Look at this. Look at this. We made it to 50 likes. Okay. Now look at it. Okay, so I've got T-Pig, I've got 2 Lucarios, and I've got 2 Hippos lured all the way to the door, right? Lured all the way to the door. Guess who's over here? Guess who's over here? Charmander number 1 and Charmander number 2. You see him? You can see him for a second. So these little guys, watch this. We're gonna re-roll them. We're gonna re-roll them. All we gotta do, go back to this tree. Go back to this tree, and here we go. We get to about right here. 1 and 2. That's a Tepig that time. We get 1.5 Charmanders every 18 seconds. The 0.5 means that sometimes we get a T-Pig. All we gotta do is go back to that tree and then run up here to the fence until we're about parallel with the rock. And we got 2 Manders that time. And you get just a glimpse. You get just a glimpse. No flying. No spawns getting lost because all your spawns are locked at this door. They never leave. And you're only rolling Manders, bro. We only roll Manders and half a Tepig. You see this shit? This is so dummy free. I don't even need to use my brain. I can just sit here and run in circles, man. Day night will mess with it. So I have until my day timer flips and then I revert to my save point. So once you get this set up, you gotta commit. But once you commit, you're in, bruh. You're in, bruh. This is it. This is it. 1.5 Manders every 18 seconds. Unbelievably cracked. Unbelievably cracked. If you got Shiny Charm, that's a Shiny Charmander every 3.4 hours on average. It would be so hard with Gardevoir. Because you'd have to get an Alpha Gardevoir and lure it. Bro, get the video out, please. Bro. I had to get it set up. The video coming. The video coming. I just got it set up and I said, man, it's about 3:30. That's the time I usually stream. Oh, I didn't see the other one. I think they still spawn in. If I make it to the rock, the back one spawns. But this is it. Whatever you were doing. What's the gist of it again? Just got here? I'll explain. I'll explain. So you get the full 7 spawns set up. You get the full 7 spawns set up, and then you lure a T-Pig, your 2 Lucarios, and your 2 Hippos to the door, so they never despawn. And then you run 70 away, which is about this tree, and then get back within 50, which is about that rock, like when you're parallel with this rock. And then, boom, you get a new Charmander and half a Charmander. That one is Tepig sometimes. The faster you do it, no, we're hunting it right now. We are hunting the shiny Charmander, the Shalpha Charmander full odds right now, bruh. I'm not even catching shiny. If I get a shiny Charmander, I'm leaving it. There's 1. And there's 2. And we go back. And yeah, you're rolling for 1.5. It's like the method I thought of, but quicker. But yeah, it's like, this is Sirius's isolation method, but on the perfect 2 spawns to make it like giga efficient. Well, it's only half a Charmander because the other half is a T-Pig, because it's a 50-50 shot. Dude, this is just... This is so unbelievably cracked. All my little doofuses. You know how hard it was to get... Why leave the Mander and not catch? Because I want the alpha, baby, and I'm not setting this up again. No way am I setting this up again. This took me like an hour to set up. Is that a first derivative? No, man, this is... No, first we had to make the function. Then we had to integrate the function and go up a dimension. And then after we integrated the function and went up a dimension, then we were able to hit full optimization, bro. We were doing 6D calculus, man. We're working with fucking hyperbolic plane geometries over here. Oh, Alpha T-Pig in the back. Okay, so when I saw that Alpha T-Pig spawn, that was like, where was I at when I saw that? Hold on, I gotta see that. Because that's the actual minimum point. Where did T-Pig spawn in at? Oh, that was an earlier run. Hold on. Wait. I wanna get this so dialed in. I know the tree is the right point for the first one. So you go around the tree. Because I don't even need to technically see the back spawn. I just gotta get right there. Okay, so it's just before the rock. Right when that Tepig spawned in, that's the spot. Tepig, T-Pig. You think we're ever gonna settle on one form of pig? Absolutely not. It's gonna be T/Tepig for forever. Have some flexibility in the way you work. Oh my god, this is so juiced. Tay-Pig? I like Tay-Pig. I mean, could I set up a turbo situation for this? Yeah, but the thing is you can't run this overnight. It's impossible to run this overnight because you can only do it for as long as you're able to get before the daytime. So you have to start with a fresh day, and then you have to get the setup. Yeah, and you have to get them in certain spawns. So you're limited in a lot of ways. But once you get it, your save becomes your holy grail, and then you can't leave. Did I miss the setup? No, I did the setup before stream. Can you play the game, bro? This is playing the game. I mean, I could do ranked battles from here. Oh no, because if I do ranked battles, it'll autosave when I connect to the internet. Nope, sorry, I can never do ranked again, Blissy, sorry. I'm just kidding. I'll unset this up after today. Because I have to do another setup for the video anyway. And I don't mind setting it up again, like, at some point. Alright, so night rolled over, we quit, we reload. I could reload the save and then immediately jumped into rank, but every time I do that, I'm losing precious seconds. I'm losing precious seconds. Alright, we get back to the tree. We get back to the tree. And we're in there. We got a whole 8 minutes. We got a whole 8 minutes of goated hunting. Hello, hello. Tepig Mander that time. This is possible with, I mean, like, we're gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna have to figure out the spot. We're gonna have to figure out the route. The problem is that like, if there's Gardevoir involved, then you would need to get an alpha Gardevoir, because otherwise they'll run away. I mean, if you're gonna AFK, you know, Bob the Builder, Mickey Mouse hunt, go right ahead. But if you're hunting with your own 2 hands, this is the truth, bruh. This is the truth. 18 seconds for 1.5 Charmanders. With the Shiny Charm, that's a Shiny Charmander every 3.4 hours on average. Untouchable. Untouchable. Who was that? That was regular. Well, no, you can't AFK it because once the night runs out, you have to reset. Because if the nighttime rolls over, I mean, you could AFK it and watch it and then roll it over every 8 minutes or whatever. But you couldn't leave it overnight unless you had such a long macro. Unless you had such a long macro that you could like macro resetting the game and then doing it again. Which, granted, my controller does let me do 10 minutes. I think theoretically I could set this up to bot for a full 10 minutes and then not have to touch my controller. But I wouldn't trust the stick inputs. They get a little wonky. I found something interesting about the glitch for Charmander. It better be heat. It better be heat. Yeah, but if you have to reset, you don't save the shiny anyway. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So the AFKers are cooked. You'd have to watch it. Shalpha Chikorita, W. If not heat, instant ban. Yeah, ban watch. Ban watch for Batman Wins 98. Just kidding. I wouldn't ban you for trying to share some of your findings, but they'd have to be some cracked findings. For latecomers, what is the cracked strat? When this daytime runs out, I will explain it. I will give another explanation. It only lasts as long as I have time on my day clock. So every 8 minutes or so, I gotta reset it, and then I'll show you. But you can get a general idea from what you see here. So like, I have 7 spawns set up, but I lured all the ones that I don't want to this door. So that these 2 in the middle, this Charmander and this Tepig / Charmander spot, are the only ones that despawn. And because 2 Hippos, 2 Lucarios, and a Tepig are already here, and they never despawn based on the distances that I'm running, these will always be, that one will always be a Charmander, and then that one, so this one's always Charmander, and then this one is 50% Charmander, 50% Tepig. And so every time I run to this tree, they reset. And we'll see some alphas pop up. That's how you know we're getting new ones every time. Every time I get to the tree, they reset. And every time I get to the rock, they re-roll. No, because the back spawner only has 3 spots. The back spawner only has 3 spots, so you have to take one 50-50 spot. So every 18 seconds, 1.5 Charmanders, and the other 0.5 is a Tepig, which is cracked. Yeah, you're only rolling Charmanders and Tepigs. What's up, Hydro Homo? Friend of the channel. Could you use this for Shalpha Lucario? Oh yeah, you could use it for any spawn that spawns here. I mean, you could use it for any of these overload methods. You just have to find the perfect positioning. farming the positioning and figuring out where you got to lure everything to and what spawners you have to isolate is the hard part. I theory crafted this earlier today with Sirius, the person who sent me the original clip of isolating one Charmander spawn. And I was like, bro, I think we can get 2. I think we can get 2. And he goes, I bet you could. Do you have to run for a certain distance? Yeah, so this right here, this tree right here is 70 from the rock that spawns the first Charmander. And then the spot where I'm running to, this spot right here is 50 from the back Charmander / Tepig. I have to get to here, and then that's where this is 50 from where that other Charmander spawns in. So you're running like, I mean, I could see the run distance total if I put a pin. Hold on, let me, so this is you got to get to here. And it takes about 18 seconds. I already timed it out with a clip. And then I got to make it to here. So you're running about 74 units every time. And you're getting 1.5 Charmanders every 18 seconds. Shalpha would go crazy? Shalpha would go crazy. Shalpha T-Pig would go crazy too. I would take it. I would take the Shalpha T-Pig, 100%. Is the setup cumbersome? Absolutely. Imagine having to lure 2 hippos, 2 Lucarios, and a Tepig to this door without accidentally despawning one, without aggroing the Charmanders. It's a pain. It took me many moons. It took me many moons and many tries, but I got it. And then once night is about to happen, we reset and we do it again. Bobby, I really tried to overload the Beldums and the Matangs, but I think whatever mechanism stops the teleporter from working until you've gone to the room and then teleported back, I think that interferes with being able to overload because you have to save and reset when you're trying to overload. And I tested it with the teleporter. If you save and reset after you've set up the teleporter like exploit for the Beldums, you lose the cries. And I think like it unloads the spawner and then there's no way to like reload your game, go check the Beldums. I tried like everything, bro. I did the Beldums and Matangs for like 3 hours. I could never get the extra spawn. So the method spawn 2 Charmanders in the middle, drag everyone else to the gate, and then run back and forth. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, you can keep trying to get the extra spawn. It might be possible, but like I was... Why do the cries matter? Because the cries let you know that you're spawning in Beldums when you hit the teleporter. Because you're not... Because if you're using the teleporter, you can't go check them, right? But if you can hear the cries, if you turn like the music and sound effects off and just leave Pokemon cries on, when you go through the teleporter, you'll hear the 2 Beldums spawn in. And like, that only happens if you go and check the Beldums and then fly back to the entrance within the lab. You can like fly within the lab back to the entrance. And then when you go through the teleporter, you'll hear, oh, Alpha Tepig back there. And that's how you know you're getting new Beldums every teleport. I hit the rock. I'm tanking my efficiency by running into NPCs. I'm willing to try anything. Dude. Join the fold. Join the fold. I might have to go a little bit further back on the tree. I think I gotta go. Can you lure the hippos? Yeah, I lured them all separately. I did not lure them all at once. I like lured one and then saved, lured the second one and then saved, lured the third one, then saved, etc., etc. And you just have to be really careful to never go 70 meters past the door. Did I hear a new method after I got my shiny Tepig? You did. I'm gonna do a quick radius check on this Charmander. I'm pretty sure the tree does it. Let's see, he's like right here, right? A little to the left. I want to make sure I'm going far enough back on the tree. Does luring take up a bunch of time of your effective daytime? Yeah, exactly. So you want to try and... Yeah, that's... As long as I go to, like, here, I'm definitely doing it. You have to get the setup as fast as possible to give yourself as much daytime as you can between your last reset and the next nighttime. Are we, like, actually soft resetting? Well, we're soft resetting every 8 minutes, and then we get to do run loops for 8 minutes. Yeah, AFK turboing should work for the Beldams in theory. And then every 8 minutes we reset back to the, you know, it took me about half the day to get this set up. What are the odds with charm? 1 in 10, 24. But I do not have charm. I'm hunting this with full odds. Because I made a bet with chat and they called my bluff yesterday. So I have to commit to no charm until I get this. Are we winning yet? Bro, we're winning. Look at us winning. We're winning with that Charmander. And then we're winning with, oh, I can't see him, but where is he? He's there. I know he's there. Yeah, exactly. Once you've got the setup, you can just reload the save. Oh, there he is. But I know for a fact he spawns in from here. Maybe I gotta go a little further. I don't know. Every additional step I have to take eats into the efficiency. Go behind the tree. I don't think I have to see him. I'm pretty sure I only gotta go to here. Or like here? Yeah, right about there. That's the spot. I should put a pin here. Is this the overload method? Yeah, this is overloaded. So these are my overload spawns. I lured them all to the door so that they never despawn. And then I run far enough away to despawn just the Charmander and the Charmanders. And then I get new Charmanders every time. Like, see, there's an alpha Charmander that's never been alpha before. Let me run to here. And then back. Yeah, I just want to get a shiny alpha. We'll worry about IVs, you know, after the game's been out a little while, and then I'm like insane. I should have clarified. You said shiny Charmander over 3.5 hours. That's with charm. You're getting 1.5 Charmanders every 18 seconds. So you take 1024, divide it by 1.5, and then multiply that by 60. And then you get number of seconds, divide that. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Why worry about IVs if you have bottle caps is a perfectly fair point. I think my brains was melting into dust. However, he has returned to save me. No, you saved me, Leaky. Is there a particular one out of the spawn points you have to avoid luring? You need to have your Charmanders at these middle two. It'll only work if you have the Charmanders at the middle two. I'll have to pull up the diagram. So, let me pull up the diagram real quick. All right, it's gonna eat into my efficiency, but we have to reset anyway. So, let me get my shit up. 1 second. 1 second. I got it in Microsoft Paint somewhere. Yeah, I would much rather see best. Hold on. Let me find my image. I've got it in FAQs and guides. Yeah. Hold on. Copy. Paste. Zoom in. Okay. So, where's display capture? Yeah, so these two spawns right here, these have to be your Charmanders. Those have to be your Charmanders. And then you have to lure... Once you get that as 2 Charmanders, then you got to lure Hippo from here, Lucario from here, Tepig from here to the door. And then you got to lure another Hippo back from here, and then a Lucario from over here. And then once you've done that, and you've saved and their origin points are locked at the door, then you're good. But getting that without ever going 70, you can't ever go 60 meters away from the door point, which is like right around here. Otherwise, you'll despawn one and it'll teleport back to its origin point. Yeah. And I'm going to make a full video of setting this up from scratch. And I'm probably going to compare it to the other methods to show that it's like, if you want Shiny Alpha Tepig or Charmander, is it easier to lure the 2 in the back first? It can be. But the problem is that you don't want to aggro the Charmanders either. If you aggro the Charmanders, then it becomes harder to despawn them once you want to set it up. The Charmanders always have to be the furthest ones away. I found a way to guarantee... Oh, damn, we got an Alpha Charmander back there. I found a way to guarantee a Totodile and a Squirtle spawn for the bench reset. Yeah, that's how it works. If you overload that spawner, then you'll always get a Totodile and a Squirtle. Makes sense to me. That's how I got my shiny Totodile that I gave to Blissey. And I have a shiny Squirtle on my other save too. I saw in your last video mentioned a guaranteed Gibble method. Wanted to ask if you would release a video or know of any posts referencing it. So I'm going to make a video on it. So the setup, basically, like the way I did it, I have a VOD of the stream where I did it. It's my like 8-hour testing stream. At some point, I transitioned over to Gibbles and... Can you KO the Charmanders and wait for them to spawn back? The respawn timer is 1 minute and 150 seconds, which is like too long. Like 150 seconds. This is 18. You're not going to be 18 seconds, bruh. You're just not. This shit is goated fast. And you don't get any phases. But yeah, so the Gibble thing, like, I'm going to make a video on the setup once I optimize it a little more. But basically what I had to do is I had to get an Alpha Drillbur and lure it to the gate of Zone 8. And then I had to get it to use Dig and then leave out the door so that the Drillbur exited the zone. And then I had to do the normal, like, leash break overload setup with the Alpha Drillbur outside the zone. No, I mean to not get them to aggro you during the setup. No, because that'll cost you one of your overloads. If you KO the Pokemon while they're overloaded, then you'll lose your 7 spawns. Wish I was any good at setting this up. I can only get 4. If you're only getting 4, then you probably need to load up the other spawner. You've probably got one of the spawners overloaded and then you're luring from the wrong spawner, because there's 2 spawners, one with 4 spots and one with 3. So if you're stuck at 4, then you're probably luring from the same spawner over and over again. So you got to pay attention to the spawn points, which I referenced. Let me pull up my, oh, let me get back to the tree. Let me pull up my picture again. Oh, that's my analytics. There we go. So, let me undo all my, I'll do all my lines. So there's 2 spawners, one with 4 spots, one with 3. One with 4 spots, one with 3. And if you've got one of them maxed out, then pulling from one of these will never overload one of these. So if you're trying to max out these 4, you got to pull from one of these 4, and I usually pull them over here. And if you're maxing out one of these 3, then I usually pull them over here. And then the door is like here and like here. And then once you get the dude over here, then you go out the door and then you do your 65 out this way. Then you come back, you check for an extra spawn. Same over here. You get your guy over here and then you run 60 out this way, come back, get the extra spawn. And then you should be able to get all 7. I'm going to put my blue circle back. This is a good diagram. After I made the OG video, you got your Shalpha T-Pig. That's fire. Yo, Darkanify. Thank you for joining. Nice to see you. Welcome back. I wonder how long till we get the first shiny. We're getting 2 spawns every time. I keep losing the 7th spot after resetting the signal. It spawns another one at the same location. I broke the chain. After I run out of the zone, I come back with 6. What am I doing wrong? You need to make sure you lure back the one that you broke the chain on into the general vicinity of the spawner that it came from. And then you save and reset once you've lured your chain broken mon back after confirming the extra spawn, and then you screen clear. And that should lock in the 7. What am I doing wrong with fast traveling? It's always get 1 less from 4 spawns. Are you fast traveling to Centrico Plaza? If you're fast traveling to Centrico Plaza, then that'll lose you spawns. You have to fly to the zone 20 center point, and then run up, not on the bridge. Run up not on the bridge, but to the right of the bridge. I would show it off. But then I would lose my setup because I'd fast travel and it would autosave, and I'd lose my goated Charmander setup. But I was doing it yesterday. If you go to my VOD from yesterday, you can see the route I was running to keep all 7. But this is just better. Amen. Good luck. Have fun. Amen. Are you able to manip this game in any way already? I mean, I would consider this a manip, but we're just manipping the spawners rather than manipping the RNG. The RNG is not manipulable. It pulls from a crypto secure chip on the Switch every time. Yo, Jado Uran, thanks for the Twitch sub. A little Prime activity? I do love a little Amazon Prime activity. Just got here a few minutes ago. Are you intentionally keeping the Lucarios and Hippos at the gate? Yeah. Yeah, the Lucarios and the Hippos at the gate let me keep them spawned in so the game never spawns another Hippo or Lucario. The game never spawns in another Hippo or Lucario, so I'm running far enough away to just respawn the Charmander, and then the back one is half a Charmander, half a T-Pig. Like that. Let me see if I can get him to, yeah, like that T-Pig spot, that's going to be T-Pig half the time, Charmander half the time, and then this one is always Charmander. Am I going to make a vid? Oh yeah, this is just, I just got it set up like 30 minutes before stream. So this is like very beginning, like I just figured it out. I just got all the spawns in the right location, and I was like, damn, we're about to blow the world up. Yeah, we'll get a vid. Flying to the Imbus truck? What's an Imbus truck? I don't even know what an Imbus truck is. Yes, I will make a guide. I'll probably make a guide tomorrow. Oh, we got an Alpha Charmander back there? Dub. Yeah, I'm going to show the full setup from scratch. I'll show like from the original 2 spawns, like the 2 spawns that you would have if you had never done an overload before. I'll show you how to get it all the way up to 7. And then once you have 7, I'll show you how to set this up. Can you just lure a Hippo and Lucario from both sides? So it's guaranteed Tepig plus Charmander on one side and a 50-50 Charmander Tepig on the other. The spacing might be tough. Because remember, you have to get it set up to where like the 2 spawns that you're resetting are the furthest ones back. So like these work so well. These work so well because they're right next to each other. And they're the only 2 of the 7 that are right next to each other. It would be like you could theory craft it. You could look at the map and try to see if there's like a way that you could get 4 spawns. But I don't know if you're going to get better than this. This seems like really cracked. He means Cafe Flare? Dude, I swear I've lost spawns from Cafe Nouveau. Whatever it is, let me open up the map. Are you talking about here? This one? I think I lose 1 spawn from here. It's like, you can test it, but You can try. You can certainly try. How do you force all the hippos and Lucarios to be in that spot and not for them to go back? I lured them all here one by one and then saved and reset. I like walked out the door and then saved and reset. And then I put a pin on that spot so that I never went more than 70 or yeah, I never went more than 70 away. Really 69 away. So that they never despawned. Yeah, like macro run and fly is tough. If you fly to Wild Zone 20 and you run on the inside of the docks like I was doing yesterday, I think you could set up a macro for it. But that's probably the only way. And the hard thing about that is like if you get aggro or you like get stuck on the ledge, your macro will get like stuck and then you won't be able to fly away, and then like you'll wake up in the morning and you'll be dead at the Pokemon Center or running into a wall. It would be hard to lure Gardevoir to the gate because Gardevoir are skittish. So you would need to lure Alpha Gardevoir to make this work for the grass area. Which would make it even more tedious to set up. But theoretically, you could set it up on the water area too. You would just have to find the spacing. There goes our Alpha Charmander. Bye-bye. Bro, this is so cracked. So chill. I get 1.5 Charmanders every 18 seconds. The real question is do I get... Am I going to get Shiny Tepig or am I going to get Shiny Charmander first? Or am I going to get Giga Lucky and the first Shiny I get is Shiny Alpha Charmander and then we never have to do this again? If I get it today, maybe I just don't make the video and this method fades into obscurity until the end of time. Nah, because someone else will make the video just from me doing this stream. So I got to be the first. If you wanted to really one-up me, if you wanted to super one-up me, you start making the video right now. And then you beat me to the punch. And if you do that, I'm banning you. What set am I going to run on the Charmander? I don't know which one I'll make it. I think it might depend on what nature it gets. I mean, alphas, I think alphas are suboptimal for competitive. Because their hurt boxes are so big. But it's really just because, like, I've never been able to get an Alpha Charmander before. The setup is make or break. Yeah, you can't leave. Once you leave, you got to set it all up again. Shiny female extra small for alligator? That's fire, Darkanify. I am jealous. That is a cool ass mon. Everybody send emotes at Sirius_999. At Sirius_999 is the one that like really pushed me to like explore this method, and we would not have gotten here without Sirius999. Only took 20 phases? I think that's the expected number of phases unless you're counting non-Charmander shinies. It would show off your hunting skills. I mean, this is really more of a problem-solving thing than a skill thing. I mean, what I'm actually doing involves no skill at all. But the problem-solving and the science involved in the manipulation of the spawners, that's the skill expression of doing something like this. Yeah, if you don't care about being optimal, I mean, use the alphas. They're big and cool. Yeah, it does have some pre-Gen 6 vibes, just in the like kind of cheeky glitchiness of it. If you get one shiny now, would I have to set everything up from scratch? Yeah, I would. I would, because it would auto-save, and then I'd lose all this time, and I'd have to kite another mon. No, I'm not doing that. If it's not a Shalpha, I'm not taking it. I'll record any shiny phases that I get that aren't shiny alphas, but otherwise, they're going into the blender. I'm not even taking a shiny pig. So the best method is to reset when a normal shiny spawns? 100%. I mean, I'm going to reset over it anyway. Hi, Maya. Hello, welcome to stream. I'm running, it's welcome to Run Back and Forth Simulator. The most compelling content on the internet. Ooh, decent ID. Cal, are you going to take it? 443838? That's pretty good. Alpha rate is 5%, by the way. Would I take Shalpha Pig? I would take Shalpha Pig. That's the only phase I'll accept. You don't like it? RIP. Cal, you're gonna get to play the game eventually, man, I promise. Is this just overloading? So it's overloading plus isolation. So you'll notice, my day is about to run out and I'll do another explanation because it's fun to explain it. Because it's so cracked. But once my day runs out, I'll reset and I'll explain it from the beginning again. We're almost out of time. It's a good thing it doesn't autosave on day-night rollover. Let me tell you what. This method would be cooked. What's the actual percentage of Shalpha, Pig, or Charmander? Shiny odds times 20, right? So it's like 1 in 80K. Sun's getting real low. That's all right. Yeah, you would have to reset before the time change if it auto-saved on day rollover. Odie says hi. Hello, Odie. We miss you. Odie's the pug that I was dog sitting for a couple weeks ago. No shiny charm? No, I lost a bet with chat and now I got to do it full odds. I said I'd do full odds if someone gifted me 10 subs yesterday. 1 in 80K with shiny charm or without? Without charm. It'd be 1 in 20K with charm. How do you isolate after overloading? Any method with that? I'm going to explain it right now. So you'll notice that I've got a Tepig, I've got 2 Lucarios, and I've got 2 Hippos over here by the door. Right? So these are my, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spawns. And then these 2 bozos back here are my 6 and 7. Right? When's he gonna, yeah, so that Charmander and that other Charmander over there, that's my 6 and 7. So those 2 are the furthest back, and then the other 5 are here. So because the spawners already think they've got 2 Lucarios, 2 Hippos, and a Pig, then it only ever spawns a Charmander at this one by the tree. That one by the tree is always Charmander, and then this one by the rock is 50% Charmander, 50% T-Pig. And so all I got to do is run far enough away, which I pasted out just a little bit ago, which is going around this tree. That despawns both of them. And then going to the rock gets me within 50 of both of them, and that respawns it. So it takes 18 seconds to reset for 1.5 Charmanders. And it's brain dead easy. All I got to do is run back and forth. Here to check out the new method? Peep. Peep, Dream Martini. I got all these guys locked at the door. 1 Charmander. Ghost of Tsushima is absolutely gas. Oh, you finally played it? W. 2 Charmanders / that could be a T-Pig. What's the fastest way to reset the spawns? Bench, or can you fly to Zone 20 or Poke Center? The way that who discovered this? That'd be me. It would be me / Serious999. Serious999 sent me the isolation method for single Charmander. And then today I was like, bro, I'm pretty sure we can get 2. And then I tested it out today. I got 2, and then I immediately went live. Do you need to get alphas to the gate for this to work? No, these aren't alphas. If you were doing like grass, or water, where Gardevoir can spawn, then you would need alphas because Gardevoir is skittish, so you wouldn't be able to lure a non-alpha Gardevoir. Does it have to be those two specific spawns? Yeah. I'll bring up the map here. Hold on. Hey, Sneezy Mood. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Let me bring up the map again because the people like the map. So these are the 7. These dots are the 7 spawns. The green ones are the back 3. Near the west gate. Where's my mouse? Near the west gate, which is like over... Let me get my... Where's my thing? The west gate is like over here. And then like south gate is like over here. Right? No. I'm happy to explain the setup because it's brand new. So you get it overloaded to 7. Getting it overloaded to 7 is step 1. Hey bro, I can only get 2 extra spawn in fire area to stay, the rest disappear. Then you've probably only overloaded one of the spawners. You need to overload both. So this is relevant here too. Like if you've got this one, and this one, then you need to pull from one of these 3 back here. And if you've got these 3, then you need to pull from one of these 4 up here. And you'd pull this way for these ones, and you'd pull like up this way for these ones. And then that should let you get the extra spawns. But anyway, so for this setup, you have to get a Charmander or a T-Pig in this one, and you have to get a Charmander here. And then you lure Hippo, Lucario, T-Pig, Hippo, and then Lucario from over here. And you got to lure them all to the gate. And then every time you lure one, you got to save and reset and then repeat it. And then you can never go 70 past this spot. So I keep a pin right there. And then once you've got them all at the gate, then you can do this. And this only works because these 2 spawners are so close to each other, right? If you were trying to do any different spots, the distances wouldn't work out. But these 2 are so close to each other that it's super efficient. Oh, grass type spawns? So what I got distracted, Raven. So what I've been doing for the grass spawns is I overload the ones by the north gate. And then I fly to North Poke Center, and then I run to the gate, and then fly back to North Poke Center. So it's pretty quick. You're only resetting 4. With the bench, you're doing 8. But to be honest, I think fly and run to the gate is faster than bench. Yo, Stink Hink, thank you for the 10 buck. 10 bucks? Can I get some emotes? Can I get some sub emotes in the chat for Stink Hink? Hit me with 10 buck. What happens if you get one of your 2 spawns as a shiny and not alpha? Yeah, I'm resetting over it. If it's not a shiny alpha, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm here for one thing and one thing only. Because I'm not setting this up again. I mean, I will set it up again when I make the video, but like, not today. Today, we're running in circles, baby. Is there a guide on how to overload Totodile? Yeah, my latest video, there's a section for Totodile and Squirtle. Yeah, I mean, I could Gully Kit the loop, but to be honest, I like hitting the buttons. How long are 1-to-1 odds with this method? With Shiny Charm, 3.4 hours. You get every 18 seconds, you get 1.5 Charmanders or 2 spawns. And then if you're going for Shalpha, then it's way longer than that because you got to multiply by 20 because these are both 5% alpha spawns. I did not set it up during this stream, but in my latest video, I show off all the techniques that you need to set it up. I have to save and reset every time nighttime rolls over. I have to reset every time nighttime rolls over. Is there a way to overload the labs Honedge? No, I don't think so. Because they only spawn Honedge. They don't ever spawn Doublade. It's got to be multi-species spawners. Yeah, this is that was the other like motivating thing, Calivrex, is like And I got 8 to spawn. Yeah, you can get 8 in the water area. You can get 8 in the water area for sure. Because there's the first spawner that has 4 drop points. And it's like 2... It's the Gardevoir... It's Gardevoir, Roserade, Malamar, Dragalge, Totodile, and Squirtle. So there's 6 spawns, but only 4 slots. And then the ones by the docks are only Dragalge, Malamar, Totodile, Squirtles. And that one's also 4 slots. So you can max out the water area at 8. Yeah, exactly. For Honedge in the lab, you fast travel away once and then you just hit the teleporter. Do you think the shiny hunting in this game is too easy or too cheesy? And even so, do you prefer hunting like this or RNG manip? I always prefer RNG manip because that's kind of my thing. No Aegislash, only Honedge and Doublade after the mission. I always prefer RNG manip, and to be honest, the thing with this is that like there's a lot of different methods. You can do AFK, which is like the most cheesy. But if all you want to do is like get the shiny and you don't really care about playing the game, I mean, go for it. Like, I don't care what you do with the game that you bought. Like, go nuts. And then if you want to do something more creative, like what I'm doing, the tools are there. Can you overload Pansage and Pansear locations? In my latest video, which is linked in the description, there's a tree that'll get you all 3 monkeys that you can fly spam. And that goes up to 4 spawns. 204 hours to reach odds, GG. I mean, to be honest, I don't care about it that much. I cared more about solving the problem than I did about the results. That's what you got to know about me is like, to me, finding solutions way cooler than finding the shiny itself. Fastest way for shiny Eevee? No, you don't want to kill and wait for respawn. Oh, with soft reset? Maybe. It's probably just like fly spam area 18 or whatever. Whatever area, is it 18? 19. It's probably just fly spam this area, walk in, check, fly again. Or maybe like a run back method on a roof EV. Or you could fly spam the turbo tree during the day. Because sometimes you'll get 2 EVs. But, yeah, Eevee's tough. Eevee's tough. What's the problem you were trying to solve? How to hunt Charmander the most effectively. Because this area doesn't have any benches. If you fly spam, you can only get 1, maybe 2 checks per time. So like solving this area has been like a really fun problem to workshop. And we've gotten to the point now where like we're getting 1.5 Charmanders every 18 seconds. And I don't think we're ever getting a setup more efficient than this. This is like the truth. And whatever I do, no matter what, kiting and the leash in the 4th won't come back. Do I need to go clean and start over? No, did you accidentally scare a Gardevoir? You might just need to do a new spawn. So like hit the bench once. Hit the bench once and re-roll all the spawns until there's no Gardevoir and then try it again. You will eventually get that 4th one, for sure. And make sure you're pulling from the right spot too. Make sure you're not pulling from the docks point. Yeah, I'll make a video on the setup for this. I literally just set it up for the first time today. This is like this is the debut right here. The cracked method is out. And then tomorrow I'll make a video on it. Yeah, you could use it for a T-Pig instead of Charmander. So it would just invert and you'd be getting 1.5 T-Pigs and half a Charmander every 18 seconds. So with Shiny Charm, you'd get a Shiny every 3.4 hours. A Shiny T-Pig every 3.4 hours. I could multiply it by 2 spawns to like get a Shiny of either one. Can you just leash Roserades? Yeah, you could only leash Roserades if you wanted. Does flying in reset the mid alphas in 20 or is it too far away? No, I think you gotta run a little bit. You might be able to get 3 of the alphas with the zone 20 midpoint. Yeah, there should be a video linked in my description, or you could put like, I think you can do ! new video. And that links to the latest video I've put out on this that teaches all the techniques that you can use to overload spawners and some of my favorite spots to do it. Pretty sure it's ! new video. And you got, yeah, you got to re-roll the spawns until these center 2 are Charmander or T-Pig. Two hours, 33 minutes for any shiny fire with this method and charm. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, did you catch a shiny, Justin Chase? If you did, you need to wait for the cooldown timer to wear off. Because there's a 150-second cooldown, and if you made a save while that cooldown was still like ticking down, and you keep trying to pull and break a leash while that cooldown is still ticking, you'll never get the extra spawn. So you need to like let your game chill for a little bit and let the cooldown timer come back up. I've had that happen to me a few times where I like tried to reset the spawns too quickly. Why is my panda at low HP? Because I was using him for taunt to get the Lucarios and the Tepigs to follow me better. Man, who's the first one gonna be? Is it gonna be Pig or Mander? I mean, we might not even get one today because with full odds, I think my time per shiny is like 8 hours. You a real one? I appreciate that. You a real one too for coming and hanging out. You want to be a super ultra mega real one? You become a member or hit super chat or use your Twitch Prime or become a Twitch sub. Nah, that's how you be a super mega real one. Could you heal it? I feel bad for the guy. Nah, because every time I reset, he's going to go back to being 1 HP anyway. He'll be fine. Not like I'm getting in any combat. He's just a little tired. Will you use a Master Ball to catch the Shalpha? No, I'm going to use... I think I have a Level Ball. What do I got? I got Level Balls. I got Moon Balls. Oh, I got Sport Ball. I'm using Sport Ball. No one's got a Sport Ball? Shiny Charizard. Not a soul. Could any of the overloaded spots be shiny? Yeah. If you get the water area fully overloaded, use Lux on Charmander. I've already got so many Lux Ball shiny Zards that I don't need another one. Getting Sport Ball shiny Zard is something that's like Sport Ball shiny Alpha Zard is something that's like kind of exclusive to this game. But Charizard is not a bug and Sport Balls are for bug catching. Yeah, I just save when I see the shiny. Then I can try it as many times as I need. Yeah, exactly, Scrubs McKenzie. Dream Balls are ranked rewards for the end of this season. So if you get to rank A, before November 26th, you get a guaranteed 3 Dream Balls, and I'm saving my Diancie for Dream Balls release. Because I'm going to catch my Diancie in a Dream Ball. Yo, Grawmaster, thanks for the Twitch Prime, brother. Let's go. Those Bezos bucks right into my bank account? That's the dream. Yeah, just get to A rank before November 26th. And then you got 3 Dream Balls coming your way on the 27th. Is there a reason the Pokemon by the gate entrance become invisible so shortly? Yeah, there's just like a weird rendering decision they made that like if a Pokemon's not alpha or shiny, then it doesn't like visually register by the door, but they are there. So like they're all here. You see my 1, 2, 3, 4. These are my guys, the doormen. Like they fade out, but they still exist because like they pop back in. But if they were alpha, they would show up until I got to 70 and they disappeared. Yeah, I saved all of their leash points at the gate. That's like how I got this set up. Shiny Alpha T-Pig, 6 phases or 6 spawns, phase 11. Let's go. I love Shiny Hunt. Congratulations. Now you don't have to set up the shit that I'm doing. Quick question. Doing this, I ended up hitting the load point for fire starters right as the night changeover, so I ended up having the spawns loading twice. I mean, that's nice. Having the free night rollover, I just think of it as like a bonus reset. I basically, like, I should stay every time. I should stay every time for the night reset and then run into the zone because, like, then I get, like, a free, No, if I fast travel, then I lose the setup, and that's slower than running back and forth. If I fast travel, these guys will all go back to their spots, it'll autosave, and I'll lose the setup. That's the whole point of getting this set up, so that I could do runaways, which are the fastest way. No loading screen. And I get to check both. I get basically 2 spawn checks every time. I just wanted to pop in, say thanks for the overloading tutorial. Got your shiny Hawlucha. Amen. Oh, there's another alpha. Could have been the one. Could have been the one. One of these days. One of these days. Dude, this is so unbelievably easy. You're a G for the shiny Arceus guide? Yo, RNG enjoyer? That's what we like to see. Appreciate you for watching the old videos, keeping them alive. Yeah, exactly. I know when Greenie finally gets to the end of the game, Greenie's gonna be messing around with this. Why aren't you doing your first method? Because this is so much better. You see how much better this is? I'm getting a Charmander and a half every 18 seconds. If I had Charm, it would be a lot faster, but I don't have Charm. I lost a bet with chat. They donated, they gave me 10 gift subs, and now I'm committed to full odds. Congratulations. If you fly after you overload the spawns, does it reduce the number of spawns? If you fly to Centrico Plaza, you will lose the overloads on the front spawners. Alpha Salamence, 62 hours, 30 phases. Whew. So was it not guaranteed Charmander before? It was, but it was slower. So I was getting 1.5 guaranteed Charmanders every time with the other method, but that took like 30 seconds per run, and I could phase. And sometimes it can take longer. But this, 18 seconds every time, bro, and I'm only getting Charmander and T-Pig. 1.5 Charmanders and half a T-Pig every 18 seconds. I mean, we can like time it out more exactly, but like, and if I'm really careful about where I go, like I only have to go to like here, I think, to spawn them, but I like being able to see that back one. Yeah, you see how he's like, he's right there. Yeah, he's like right about here is the point I gotta go to. No, Greenie hasn't beaten the game, so I know Greenie doesn't have the shiny charm. I have a question about the first method part 1 though. I saw you got 5 spawns after the first part of the overload. Did you do that with only 4 Pokemon? What do you mean? Which? The 5th spawn is from the other spawner. If you've got 5 spawns, what video should I watch to set this up? I don't have the video up for this yet because I just set it up today. You can do exclamation point new video to learn the techniques that went into this, but then there's one new step on top of it, which is luring all the hippos and Lucarios and 1 T-Pig back to the gate. And then making sure that your Charmanders are at these 2 middle spawn points. You have to make sure that you have a Charmander and either a T-Pig or a Charmander at these 2 spawns right here. By the rock and then in the middle. That's the only way to make this work. Could someone type exclamation point new video and confirm that it works? And then it takes you to the new exploit, makes hunting shiny Pokemon in Legends ZA easier, like the newest one. I'm pretty sure I updated it, but... Did you do Lemon Factor today? I have not gotten a Lemon Fact yet today. I'll take one. I had 4 spawns every time. Okay, new video does work. And it looks like it's going to the right one based on... I think I've memorized the link at this point. Four spawns with 4 Pokemon to the gate in the first part, and then 2 Pokemon with 3 Pokemon to the gate after, so 6 total. Yeah, so you just need to get the 7th. And it depends... I don't know what I'm missing. Did you watch the new video, or did you watch the first video? The one that was like Charmander only? Saw your video before the stream, neat. Yeah, this part is new. The link is the old video. Okay, let me update it. We're about to get the night rollover. Don't let me forget, after the night rolls over, I'm going to go update that. Because we got to get the new video in there. The new video should be in the description. How do you see the spawns without going inside the zone? You got to like creep up to the door. Or creep up to the wall. And then like, it's just close enough that you sometimes get to see them. I don't know how to get to 7th to spawn. You have to lure the actual new video. Thank you, Greenie. Hold on, I can update it. Let me go in and do my crazy check. No, yeah, the old method where you like load them all up at the door sucks. We've advanced. I'm gonna go inside, get my free nighttime check. Marvin, what's good? What's good? Alright, reset. Let me go change that command to the correct video. Thanks for taking time out of your day to reply to comments, even on old vids. I mean, yeah. I mean, people need help. I just got like 2 more comments. Hold on. Grab a link. Streamlabs. Dashboard. Yeah, the middle maxes out at 6. There's only 6 drop points in the middle. So you can't get more than 6. Trust me, we tried. All right, there we go. Exclamation point, new video should now be updated. With 6 spawns, you're not sure. What's up, Sauce Boss? Yeah, it's based on the spawn points. Did I get them a ride on Karadon code? Heck no, you think I'm going to the store for some burger ass clone that everybody gets? Yeah, exactly. The positions of the alphas are the 6 points where that's the drop points. Have you tried the Dratini Dragonair spawn without jumping across the buildings? Yeah, I'm sure it can work. Like, the Dratini Dragonair one, like, I just got stuck on it for a little while, and then that's the one that worked, and I was like, alright, full send. That one works. But it seems like you don't have to jump across. You can get it to work by going to slightly different spots. That's just, like, the one that worked for me, and so that's the one I posted. Let me do a quick... Actually, I'm just gonna reset. Not cut into any of my daytime. I'm gonna do a quick help tutorial on getting to 7 spawns. So I just show off my analytics. Hold on. I have too many monitors taken up by all this crap. Oh, let me put this over here. No, I don't want it over there. That's whatever. I don't really care. Just view numbers. So, okay. So if you're at 6, right? If you're at 6 spawns, then that means that these 4, the red points, the first spawner is probably overloaded. So you've got this one, this one, this one, and this one, right? And then you've got 2 of these, and it'll be random which 2 of these you get. So you need to pull from one of these. To get to 7, you have to pull from one of these and bring them up here. And then do your 60 to 70 meters away that way. You just got a Shalpha, Charmander, and a Sport Ball. Steve, be real. Well, couldn't it be me, man? Steve, be real, stole my luck while I'm drawing green boobs on a map. Yeah, so like, does this line up with your situation? Are you tracking what spawns I'm showing here? Who was I talking to? Hold on, I gotta scroll up. Justin Chase? No, Justin Chase is on the other one. I'm talking to I Love Shiny Hunt. I Love Shiny Hunt. You see what I'm talking about? These 4 should be locked in for you, right? Or do you have like 3? Do you have like these 3 all locked and then 3 here, but you're missing this 4th? It all depends on which spawns you have locked in and which one is like your floating spot. I can't get either spawner to get more than 2. I'm stuck at 4. I would like run away for a little bit, go hit a bench or something, redraw them, and then like try from a fresh spawn. And make sure you're going off of the new video method where you only pull one guy at a time rather than trying to pull like everybody to the door. Do you think you could isolation hunt for water and grass spawns? I'm kind of losing my mind. I mean, yeah, you could, but I mean, this is like brand new hot shit, straight up, you know, fresh off the presses. So you'd have to like optimize the routing, figure out the spacing, find out where you got to pull the guys to. Because of the Gardevoirs, it's probably really annoying because you need to get an alpha Gardevoir in order to kite it away. But yeah, I do think it's possible. I 100% think it's possible. But you'd have to pace it out. This was like 2 hours of theory crafting that went into this. Built on top of everything that we've had to figure out to be able to get it to overload to 7 in the first place. All right, I'm going back to hunting. I got Shiny Charmander T-Pig within an hour and a half of using your method with 6 spawns. Damn. That's goated. Lucky son of a bitch. Not me. Not me. Yeah, I also posted, so for people who, pull Hippo 50 away, save, reset, run out of zone 20, 65 away from Hippo's new spot, save, rest, nothing will respawn, Hippie is full away. Yeah, try going to like 68, 69. Taunting skittish Pokemon doesn't kite them? No. So there's docile Pokemon who aren't aggressive. I just ran way too far. There's docile Pokemon who aren't aggressive. There's skittish Pokemon who will actively run from you. And then there's aggressive Pokemon. Docile Pokemon need a taunt. Skittish Pokemon will always run. Yeah, the angle really helps. Sometimes you got to dial in the angle. And sometimes like 65 isn't enough. You got to go to 66, 67, 68. I posted an FAQ in the pinned comment of the new video. And like many of these questions are answered in the pinned comment. The only thing that's not in that pinned comment is how to set up this isolation method because that's like brand new for today. And then the FAQ with a little picture, the little picture that I've been showing off is in my Discord in the FAQs and guides channel. So if you're not in my Discord and you want to look at the FAQ and see if your question is in there, exclamation point Discord. Did I discover the BDSP RNG manip? No, I did not. The RNG researchers and like Lincoln was the one that made the tool, and then I just like you know, was good at teaching people how to use the tool. And like, when I say good at it, I mean like, I don't think my guides are that good anymore. Like, I think BDSP's due for a redo. But, yeah, Fennekin's never going to work with this because Fennekin's only a single species spawner. It only works for spawners that can spawn multiple species at the same time. So like these ones that have 4 different species that they could be, or, you know, like the Dratinis plus Dragonair spawners. Remind me, how did the RNG manip work again? So you have to get your seed. You get your seed from recording the character's blinks. And you need to record 40 blinks in order to get enough data to reverse engineer the RNG seed that gave you that blink pattern. And then once you get the seed, you plug that into the RNG calculator Pokefinder that tells you all the future Pokemon. And then you wait for enough like blinks and or do some other methods that cause RNG advances and then use the blinks to re-identify. Et cetera, et cetera. They're like, and then, you know, you advance the RNG up to the point where you're just before the shiny. And then you go and encounter the Pokemon, and hopefully you encounter it at the right time. And if it's shiny, you did it. If you don't, you go back, figure out what you did wrong, adjust your numbers, and then try it again. Yeah, Fennekin, you can just bench it. Basically, is like benching Fennekin is probably the best route because there's not a great spot on the roof to get 70 away from Fennekin. Like, I tried so many different like configurations to try and get 70 away from Fennekin, and I just never ever got it. What am I doing right now? Full odds hunting for shiny Alpha Charmander using the brand new hot butter method. Why is my music playing and not the right playlist? Unless my song somehow made it onto this playlist. Not that I hate my own music, but the point was to play from the playlist. There we go. Dang, I haven't looked at my view count all stream. I got 310 viewers. Holy smoke. And 142 likes. My goats. Appreciate all the live help. Still stuck at 4. Might just SR. Definitely check the FAQ. Check the new video. Yeah, I only have T-Pig and Charmander. I've given up on all phases. And I'm only doing T-Pig and Charmander. So step 1 is you have to get the 7 overloads. You have to get this. You have to get overloaded to 7 spawns, which is like, I say step 1, but that's actually like at least 20 steps. Then you gotta lure your 2 hippos, your 2 Lucarios, and 1 of the T-Pigs over to this door, and you have to make sure that the center 2 spawns are either Charmander or T-Pig. Where is he? There he is. And then after you've done that, then you can figure out based on where you got him at if you can do the running route. And you have to make sure that you never go more than 70 away while you're setting this up from any of your door guys. And then once you've accomplished all of those things, then you can do this method. And I will have a full video on how to set this up from scratch from only 2 spawns tomorrow. But today is the grand unveiling. Yeah, the chestbin one is super easy. Agreed. The chestbin one is dummy easy. Anybody can do that. Ooh, alpha back there? Could you imagine? Could you imagine if that alpha shined? Oh. Would this work with Totodile? I mean, it would work. You just have to find the right positioning. It took me like 2 hours of theory crafting to figure out the positioning for this. And then another like hour of like messing around with the setup to finally get it to work. And then here we are. So, you know, open up your map, draw some arrows, put some points down. Because it should be possible for any of these, like any of the starters to set up like this isolation run back loop. And then you never lose your spawns. You're always getting the Pokemon that you want. It's brain dead. You can just run back and forth. It's cracked. And if somebody leaks this to like one of the bigger creators and I get scooped before I get the guide out tomorrow, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll find you. I will find you and I will ban you if you like, oh, you gotta beat Hefe to the punch on this, so don't you dare do that. I fucking earned this one, bruh. I have a very particular set of skills. I will find you and I will ban you. DMing Austin John right now. No, please, no. I need to make money. Actually, if I get like 50 gift subs right now, then you can tell Austin John. But come on, that's I need the income, man. Let me profit off of my work. Oh, I'm getting my free night reset? I love the free night reset. I don't think they'll be able to. I'll have this out by like 5 p.m. tomorrow, probably. Oh, you know you'll be getting a shout out in the video, Sirius. How long does it take to set up? Setting up the overload takes anywhere from like 20 to 40 minutes, depending on how good you are. And then on top of that, then it takes another like 20, 30 minutes to get the what's it called set up. Yeah, but I'm gonna record all fresh footage tomorrow. I always record fresh footage for guides. I don't use streams because, like, can you see how like broken and like nonsensical my communication style is? I'm out here answering like 4 questions at once and also reading chat and also like bouncing between doing videos and like, you know, like showing off the graphics and everything. I'm gonna go from scratch. I'm gonna get it all the way down to 2 spawns. We're gonna build it up from nothing. I'm gonna assume that you're coming in with absolutely 0 knowledge, and I'll show you how to get up to the point where you're doing what I'm doing. Because that's the way I roll. That's the way to do it. That's the right way to do it. I'm hunting for a Shalpha Jolteon in the middle of zone 20 with 6 spawns. No luck at all. What's the quickest way to reset them all? Probably like fly to the Pokemon Center at the top, run into the zone until you see all 6, and then run back and repeat. Nah, I don't like doing muted. I like doing it live, you know, because